Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini. Hope you all are enjoying a wonderful Wednesday night. Hopefully much better than what the baseball team is doing right now. The Pittsburgh Pirates last night dropping Game 2 of their three-game set against the Kansas City Royals. We will jump into that here in a couple of minutes. We are going to start off the show today kind of celebrating the franchise changing move for the Pittsburgh Pirates that happened on this day 2 years ago, drafting Paul Skenes first overall in the MLB draft. We will talk about him, what he has done, and what the team has failed to do with him to kick off the show here in a couple minutes. We will also get into some Pittsburgh Steelers news as well, possibly some new jerseys, some new uniforms coming here soon. What those could possibly be, we will discuss, and so much more. But first thing is first here today. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this live stream and comment in the comments section any thoughts, questions, opinions that you may have. I can pop them up on the screen at a moment's notice, just like this, and we can interact that way. Did say we are going to start off today talking about the quite possibly greatest Pittsburgh Pirate of all time when it's all said and done. Paul Skenes on this day 2 years ago, July 9th, 2023, was drafted first overall by the Pirates. Seeing the posts all over the place today, him signing the contract, him putting on the Pirate uniform for the first time. Ken Griffey Jr., of course, was the one. The draft took place in Seattle, announcing him as the first overall pick. And that was the day, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago, where the rebuild ended for the Pittsburgh Pirates. We, at that point, suffered through 4 long years of complete and total whale crap. And they tore it down to the studs. Andrew McCutchen gone, Garrett Cole gone, so many other fan favorites went and played elsewhere and had lots of success. Meanwhile, the Pirates, they brought in crap players all over the place. We had to suffer through points where Colin Moran was the best hitter on the ball club. We saw Gregory Polanco's spiral downward. We watched the likes of Kai Tom and all these other, guys who became regular starters. Remember, who was it? His last name was Outford. He was a football player who was playing center field because the Bucs were trying to suck so bad. And the sucking ended up in getting not one, but 2 first overall picks. Of course, we remember the Henry Davis first overall selection as well. But all of that, the Bucs then with Brian Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz and Key Brian Hayes, Mitch Keller coming into his own as a solid starter in the rotation. All of this, we started to see the team get better and better, and it all culminated with them drafting Paul Skenes 1-1 2 years ago, and that was the day when the rebuild needed to end, and it was time for the Bucs to go out and start acquiring better bats, really bring everything together. You had a little bit of goodness here, a little bit of goodness there. They needed to bring it all together, and the rebuild ended as soon as he was drafted. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, and I'm going to try to keep my cool throughout this because, as you see in the banner right there, every single day that Paul Skenes takes the mound, we are reminded more and more, including on this day, how much he has been wasted in every single definition of the word, how we have wasted him here in Pittsburgh. Just looking here at some of the statistics, the Pirates, since drafting Paul Skenes, shout out Andrew Filipponi for posting this, they are 149 and 178, well below 500 since quite possibly the greatest pitcher of all time, guaranteed right now, even though he's not even 2 years into his tenure at the big leagues for the Bucs, the greatest pitcher that the Pittsburgh Pirates have ever had. The team below 500 since he was drafted, and they are right now 17 games out of first place in the NL Central. They're 13 games out of a wild card spot. They're not even close to competing. And it's an absolute travesty and a catastrophe worthy of every single person in the Pirates front office to be fired, and the owner, Bob Nutting, to sell the team, not so that he can make another profit. We all know that he just keeps on milking the Pirates because he views them as a cash cow and nothing else. But it's just disheartening. I didn't want to start off the day disheartening, but that's the entire state of the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. You have a generational pitcher who should be a Cy Young candidate right now, but unfortunately, he isn't going to do so because Zach Wheeler has pretty much similar stats to Skenes. Zach Wheeler, ace for the Philadelphia Phillies, but Skenes doesn't have the win total, the record to help his case. Just to put into some context here, what he's doing, how good he is this season. Tarek Skubal, who won the Cy Young last year in the American League, most likely going to do it again this year. Both he and Skenes through 13 starts this year. Skubal has an 8-0 record in his last 13 starts with a 1.75 ERA. Meanwhile, Skenes, same thing, his last 13 starts, a 1.72 ERA, so a couple, little percentage points lower there. Meanwhile, he has a 1-5 record. I think overall his record is 4-7, 4-8 on the season, something like that. Just an absolute travesty by Ben Cherington and Bob Nutting that this team, in year 6 now of their partnership here, their tenure, they have done absolutely nothing worth of note. They have not accomplished a damn thing aside from draft what at the time should have been 2 years ago a franchise savior. They have found a way to do the impossible, which is to ruin this grace from God, literally a godsend on the Pittsburgh Pirates, giving them quite possibly one of the greatest pitchers that we will ever see. Probably the greatest pitcher that you and or I watching this stream will see in our lifetime. And they have found a way to completely fail with it. Just looking here at what other things are going on. Pirates 38-55 on the season. Like I said, 17 games out of first place in the division, a 409 win percentage. Granted, that would probably be still way worse if Derek Shelton were the manager here. That's the only other bright spot that this ownership and general manager have done is fire the possibly the worst manager of all time. The stats back that up. Which they also, fired him possibly, or not possibly, literally a year and a half too late. The Pirates, 5-game losing streak right now, a negative 44 win differential. And they are one of the worst road teams in the entire MLB. The Pirates, they're already, close enough to where they're in the basement with other bad teams in the MLB, like the Rockies and the White Sox. Baltimore Orioles, they aren't too far above the Bucs or below the Bucs either. No, above the Bucs, they're 40-50. But the Pirates on the road this season, they are right here, 12-34. The Colorado Rockies, they are 11-35, and the White Sox, where are they? They are 11-36. So the Pirates, just by the slightest of win margins, are better on the road than the two worst teams in the MLB. And they cannot do a damn thing to help Skenes. And there is nothing on the way to save this team or to save Ben Cherington's job. Just look up and down the entire organization. Andrew McCutchen at 38 years old is your best hitter. Brian Reynolds, he's having an okay season by his standards. O'Neal Cruz is heading to the home run derby, but he's, falling off with the bat. And everyone else below them are either average or well below average. The Pipeline, AAA, no-hitter of note coming up. AA, once upon a time, Tamar Johnson, another first-round pick for this organization, was down there, as a possibility to, be a good hitter for this franchise, but he's regressed to a point where we don't even hear from him. You'd have to go all the way down to Bradenton right now to find a glimmer of hope batting-wise for this team in Connor Griffin, which he should be fast-tracked to the big leagues as soon as possible. So just wanted to point that out there today. Today, the 2-year anniversary of Paul Skenes, and it's rare in a case in sports where you see a situation in which everything around one person on a team is going so wrong, but that person, you cannot find a single thing where they could take a little bit of blame and all that's gone wrong. That's Skenes. None of this. 0.00000% of this team's failures rest on the shoulders of Paul Skenes. And it's absolutely... It's anarchy, honestly. I can't even come up with the right descriptive words to describe how this team has completely fumbled this generational talent. It'd be as if the Penguins drafted Sidney Crosby years ago, and they then sucked so bad that they weren't even sniffing the playoffs before, November was over. So, terrible. Happy anniversary Skenes to all of you who celebrate the Pirates getting the best pitcher that we will ever see. But they will continue to fumble him because of their incompetence and cheapness. Things aren't going to get any better on the stream here today. Going to try to make it a short stream here today. Not much news to talk about, but the Pirates last night, like I said, they are on the road this season, 12-26, something like that. That record worsened last night in Kansas City against the Royals. They once again lost by a final score of 4-3, a walk-off victory for them. Just recapping the game, the Royals, they took a 1-0 lead early. Jack Caglione, who is a player that the Pirates wish so damn bad that they could have. Dude just absolutely tears the cover off the ball. He got fast-tracked to the big leagues as well, and he mashed a home run last night to right field. Oneil Cruz did tie up the ball game last night, and he got his first, I guess, sneak peek since being announced to the home run derby of what we could see Monday night, a 458-foot towering bomb that I think was over 115 miles an hour off the bat. Just let's hope that we can continue to see more of that from him. Wanted to see what there were any other stats to that, but anyway, that tied the ball game up at 1 apiece. It was 458 feet. Kauffman Stadium there, they have the waterfalls. That landed, I think, on top of the waterfall, if not deeper. So crazy power there from Cruz. Also, by the way, talking about Skenes just a minute ago, he says that he is more excited about seeing Oneil Cruz hit in the home run derby than he is to actually play in the All-Star game. That is how much hype and anticipation is around Oneil Cruz heading into Monday night. The Pirates, they then took a 2-1 lead. Another guy who's coming into his own with the bat, also gaining some pop. Nick Gonzalez, dead center field home run that made it 2-1. That also ended the Royals pitcher Seth Lugo's day. He went 6 innings full, gave up 4 hits and 2 earned run, the 2 homers. Then the Royals, they reclaimed the lead. Nick Lofton, their left fielder, Mitch Keller threw a ball right down the middle. He then hit one that scored 2 runs, hit it hard. Keller, 6 2/3, gave up 4 hits, only gave up 2 earned runs, and 93 pitches for him. His 13th quality start of the season, and that's all before the All-Star break. One of the best pitchers in terms of quality starts, giving his team a chance to win every single night out. Brian Reynolds came through. Then in the top of the 8th inning, a ground ball with the bases loaded and 1 out, that tied up the ball game. And then Lofton again Nick Lofton, a name that no one knew coming into this series, but now everybody knows. A walk-off single to center field for him. O'Neal Cruz, even if he, made the diving catch, runner on third was going to score anyways. So it was a walk-off 4-3 win for the Royals, a loss for the Pirates. Lofton, their left fielder, came into the series hitting 171, and now he has, I believe, 4 hits against the Pirates in this series, 2 of which were for home runs, 1 that we just talked about, a walk-off RBI single. So nothing good came out of last night's game. The only good thing that I guess you could take is that O'Neal Cruz looks ready for the home run derby. As a matter of fact, I just saw a video of him a couple minutes before I went live of him hitting the ball for batting practice before tonight's ball game. He looks absolutely ready to go for this. I'm excited. I'm not a betting man for sports betting, but I'm tempted to, sprinkle a couple bucks on him because he shows that he's going to have the longevity over everyone else in the field to do this. Only other news stories last night, Mitch Keller, again, like I said, quality start. Only gave up 2 runs, struck out 5, walked 1. His trade stock, that's only rising, and I want to see him here. I've completely 180'd on my stance of possibly trading, Ke'Bryan Hayes and O'Neal and Brian Reynolds and Mitch Keller. Not because I think they can fetch a return. It's just because I don't trust the general manager to do it. These moves, getting rid of those players, like I just said, those are moves that should be reserved and tabled for the offseason when a new general manager should be in here. I'm not going to say will be in here because Bob Nutting might do something stupid and keep him. But, you can't let this general manager who hasn't done a single thing right except for drafting Paul Skenes, obviously, first overall, and maybe, I guess, shipping off Rodolfo Castro for Bailey Falter, hasn't done anything right, and you cannot trust him to deal a player of Keller's caliber and get something good in return. So that's it. Bucs looking to avoid getting swept in back-to-back series after sweeping back-to-back series at home. They'll look to get one game saved out of this entire road trip so far, not just this series. Tommy Pham leading off tonight in left field, Andrew McCutchen DHing, Brian Reynolds in right, Nick Gonzalez at second, O'Neal Cruz in center, Ke'Bryan Hayes at third, Joey Bart catching. Hopefully he can turn things around. He was another guy who I would say Ben Cherington did a good job in bringing in, but ever since his concussion earlier this year, he has not been himself with the bat at all. Just 1 home run this year. Jared Triolo batting 8th at first base, an off night for Spencer Horwitz, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at shortstop. And Bailey Falter pitching tonight. He's also in the camp, along with Mitch Keller. Do not want to see him gone either, because I think for a lefty who has been pitching as well as he has for the past 2 years, he could fetch you a ton in a trade if you don't decide to keep him. It's just Ben Cherington. He's not going to get what you should get for guys like that. There's no way you can trust him. However, if he wants to ship off guys on 1-year deals like Andrew Heaney, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who I think, he's on the last year of his deal. I don't think he's going to re-sign here. Trying to think of who else is here. Caleb Ferguson as well. Tommy Pham, of course, an obvious one. If Cherington wants to get rid of those guys, then so be it. I mean, he'll probably get crap for them, but hey, at least a 17-year-old outfield prospect from the Dominican who probably isn't going to have a chance of sniffing the big leagues until 5 years from now. It's better to get that than to get nothing when those guys walk for free in free agency. So that's all I got for Bucko Talk right now. Just today, of all days, it's really testing to be a fan of this team. A day where 2 years ago, all of your strifes and tribulations, all the pain that you endured of a rebuild, it was all supposed to, start to go away because you drafted Paul Skenes, but instead things have gone much, much worse than what you thought they could have gone. They could have with this guy. Not even close to contending for your division, let alone for a wild card, let alone your division or a playoff spot. Season was over pretty much before it got started because you didn't spend a single damn thing in free agency. You kept along a manager that you clearly weren't going to win with, and you fired him after, 38 games, I think is when it was. And you still have in place the general manager who did say he was going to be accountable alongside the manager. If they won together, they won together. If they lost together, they would lose and be held accountable together. Well, shows you that you guys are real together right now because one of you got fired over deservedly and one of you is still inexplicably here. So that's all. We'll watch the Pirates get swept tonight. Absolutely no faith that this team is going to do anything against the Royals. The bats will continue to struggle. The pitching will do its damnedest to win a game 1-0. And then we will watch this team probably go lose 2 out of 3 to the Minnesota Twins before the All-Star break comes. 7 of you in here right now. I appreciate you for joining me here this evening. If you are new here to the channel, again, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this live stream and comment in the comment section any other pieces of news that you have. We'll say, I can pop those up on the screen at a moment's notice here. Going to continue to keep things moving along here. Going to make it a bit of a shorter stream here tonight. Let's talk some Pittsburgh Steelers. Get things back onto at least a happier topic here. The Steelers last night, they posted a tweet which says "Forged in Pittsburgh," and it has the date 7/21/25. They got a shot here, I guess, inside an old steel mill here, and the eyeball emoji on this. And I think we can all guess what this is. This is going to be their new alternate uniforms that they are going to debut this year. We already know that, if you look over my finger here, we already know that those yellow helmets, they are going to be a part of the uniforms, but we do not have any clue whatsoever what the actual, jerseys will be. So here on the coming up on the 21st, we will know what that is. And, I gotta wonder, people have been speculating, is this going to be an all yellow thing? Still could be. Could it be a return of the Bumblebee jerseys? I doubt it, because what would the Bumblebee jerseys, have relating to this, steel mill image here? I'm trying to figure out. It's probably going to be more of like a metallic-y, jersey type. I don't know what exactly all will be on it, but has to do something where you're going to see shots of them in a steel mill here when they officially do come out. And they'll be the first of, they'll be one of many teams this offseason to reveal alternate jerseys. I mean, today we just saw the Washington Commanders. They revealed their new alternate uniforms, sort of a throwback to their Redskins days. So excited to see what the Steelers have coming up. Hopefully they are good and not something that all of us are going to be like, okay, they're kind of less than we expected. So we'll see what the Steelers, what newness they have coming up here with the alternate uniforms on the 21st. Going to take a quick stroll here through Twitter, see if we got anything new going on, any new news, if that has popped up since we've been live. Hopefully we can get some exciting news for tomorrow's stream. Honestly, don't know what all is going to be talked about tomorrow, seeing how seeing how the Pirates will be off tomorrow. Not seeing much of anything here today. Do see something here from, I believe it's Adam Rank of ESPN. The Steelers' 2025 schedule. He is predicting them to go 6-11. That's what we'll start here with the more news segment. Excuse me there. Robo caller. So 6-11 here. He has the Steelers losing to the Jets and Seahawks to start off the season. Wow. Losses in the two revenge games, the Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf revenge games. He has them going 0-2, then winning against the Patriots, beating the Minnesota Vikings, then the Browns at home, that is. They'll beat the Browns. They'll lose on the road to the Bengals. They'll then lose to the Packers Week 8 on Sunday Night Football, another Aaron Rodgers revenge game. They'll have them beat the Colts, lose to the Chargers. They'll then lose to the Bengals, Bears, Bills, and Ravens. So 5 straight losses from weeks 10 to 14 for this team. Chargers loss in LA, lost to the Bengals at home, lost to the Bears, the team that Aaron Rodgers owns, in Soldier Field, lost to the Bills at home, and then lost to the Ravens on the road. Then we win in the Jalen Ramsey Minka Fitzpatrick Bowl against the Dolphins, lose to the Lions Week 16, lose to the Browns, and then beat the Ravens. I'm baffled there. So let's go here. Right now, I guess you could put maybe the Steelers losing one of those two opening games of the year. They do start off slow at times. So I guess I'm not seeing the Steelers losing both of those games. So I guess they win one. I think the Patriots are going to be a sneaky good team. That might be an L there. Win against the Vikings in Ireland, a pseudo home game for the Steelers. Win against the Browns, obviously. Losing both games against the Bengals, they have no defense. I'd like to think no matter who's at quarterback, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, hell, even if Will Howard's in there, I'd like to think that this offense will have the capacity to score more than the Bengals offense just because their defense is so garbage. Win against the Browns in Week 6, like I say. Lost to the Browns in Week 17. Okay, I guess. Steelers will have a trap game there where they'll lose against their opponent. Steelers are at least going to go 1-1 with every one of their divisional opponents. I don't see them getting swept by any of these teams. They're at least going to go 1-1 in the division with each of these teams. Lost to the Packers on Sunday Night Football. Okay, I can see that. Win against the Colts. Steelers, the Colts, and their head coach, Shane Steichen? He has had Tomlin's number ever since he became a head coach, even going back to when he was a coordinator in Philly. So I'm going to count that as a loss until the Steelers prove me otherwise. Steelers will beat the Chargers because they always do. They will beat the Bears. If Aaron Rodgers is playing, they're beating the Bears because he's the owner. Against the Bills, sure, I can see that as a loss. To win against the Dolphins, and then the Lions, I think it'll be a good game. That might be a sneaky one that the Steelers could pull out because they've gone over so much turnover at the coordinator position. So this dude, I have no idea where the hell he's getting 6-11 from. He should always default back to the baseline of this team will go 9-8 with Mike Tomlin. Always fall back to the mean here. There's no way that this team goes under 500 with Mike Tomlin. You should know this by now. Getting into some other Steelers news here. Jalen Ramsey continues to work this offseason. A video on Instagram from his agent, David Mulugeta, shows him and other players working before they will go to their teams for training camp. And Ramsey, man, he looks healthy. And he looks like he's got a lot to prove. I know he's 31 years old, but I am not doubting Ramsey and his ability whatsoever to be a better player than Minkah Fitzpatrick. So glad to have Ramsey on the team still. Ben Roethlisberger making some waves, making fun at the Cleveland Browns, like all of us like to do. Was talking on his podcast last night about what would have happened if he had gone to another team other than the Steelers. And Cleveland, especially, Ben is an Ohio guy, went to Miami, Ohio. And when talking about the possibility of him playing for the Browns, if what would have happened if he had gone there instead of the Steelers, he said, quote, "It would have been hard to play in Cleveland because I win." Shots fired from 7. I absolutely love it. And it's true. He is one of the most winning quarterbacks that I have ever witnessed. Dude who, with the ball in his hands late in the game, you feel like he's going to score. He is a winning quarterback in the losingest franchise. I'm not even sure if losingest is a word, but the worst franchise in football in terms of winning. He definitely wouldn't have won a Super Bowl there. Maybe he would have gotten a couple playoff wins there, but Ben Roethlisberger wouldn't have been who Ben Roethlisberger was if he would have gone there to Cleveland. By the way, against the Browns in his career, 26-3-1. Just 3 losses to the Browns in his life. Ben, one of the GOATs to do it. Speaking of the Browns, an ESPN poll was put out today, and 70 NFL executive coaches and scouts, they ranked the top pass rushers in the NFL. Number 1 on the list, Myles Garrett. Number 2, T.J. Watt. Where is T.J. Watt worse than Myles Garrett? Honestly, I don't mean to, beat a dead horse when I say this here, but I'm going to do it because literally every single statistical category, T.J. Watt is better than Myles Garrett. Over their careers, Watt, 108 sacks to Garrett's 102.5. Watt, tackles for loss, 126 to 116. Forced fumbles, 33 to 20, Watt. Tackles, 462 to 352, Watt. Interceptions, 7 to 0, Watt. Quarterback hits, Watt, 225 to 200. Touchdowns, 1 apiece. Games started, Watt more than Garrett as well, 121 to 114. And he is blowing him out in some of these stats. And I have no clue why people keep trying to push the narrative that Myles Garrett is better than T.J. Watt. And I'll say this. What this reminds me of, and it has nothing to do with their skin color in this case, it reminds me of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You got the Garrett, who, whether you take it as confidence or arrogance, talks a big game. Meanwhile, TJ goes and just backs it up with the stats. You then got in the WNBA right now, I think I saw Caitlin Clark got voted the 9th best guard in the league, which is crazy seeing how she dominates the league. Same thing for TJ here, getting voted the second behind Myles Garrett. Trying to think here. I think I saw something. I heard something actually. 93.7 The Fan. They were arguing about this today, and some guy in Cleveland in Cleveland radio said that Miles is better, and it doesn't hurt his case because he beat TJ one-on-one in the playoffs. Okay, that's one game. Go over all the other games where Watt has dominated Garrett. Just like with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Angel Reese, to her credit, congratulations to her, beat Caitlin Clark in either the finals or the semifinals of the basketball national championship. Congratulations to her. But going over their careers one-on-one, especially in the WNBA, Clark is dominating the court. So it still amazes me that Watt is voted over, or that Garrett is voted over Watt. They both are each a piece defensive players of the year, but we will always remember Watt won his legitimately, I think tying the single season sack record. Meanwhile, when you go back and you look at Myles Garrett's case for DPOY the year he won it, I remember we were going over all the phantom stats. The I almost got him to the quarterbacks. The if you would have held on to the ball half a second longer, I would have had this amount of stats. TJ blew him out that year as well in stats and got screwed out of a defensive player of the year for the second or third time, depending on, your cases. Got screwed again for DPOY. So till the wheels fall off of both of them and they're out of the league, stats are stats. Facts are facts. TJ Watt over Myles Garrett. I rest my case. Moving on here. Speaking of disrespect to Steelers players, PFF, they just dropped their top 10 secondaries right now in the NFL, and the Steelers did not make the top 10. And I did not see the entire list here of the secondaries by PFF. I would have to assume that, or at least hope, that the Steelers are, right on the outside there. But just looking at the teams right now that are ahead of the Steelers in the top 10 here, Baltimore Ravens, number one. I don't think I'm going to argue that one at all because, Marlon Humphrey, Jair Alexander, Nate Wiggins, got a safety tandem of Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton. I'll agree with them right now. They're the top secondary, fully healthy right now. Below that, Kansas City, they got Trent McDuffie there, but not too other many household names in that secondary. Jalen Watson, another corner, but it just seems like that secondary gets inflated up because their offense is so good and they win so many football games because they got Pat Mahomes. Denver Broncos, I can see them being up there. Jahdae Barron, Riley Moss, Pat Surtain, last year's DPOY. Okay. Houston Texans, another one. Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie, a couple other guys who are slipping my mind right now. The New England Patriots are 5. They got much better in the secondary this offseason. They also got, I believe, Christian Gonzalez. So he was, the 6th overall pick? No, he got drafted after the Steelers. He was pick 18 or 17 or something like that. Detroit Lions, all right. Brian Branch, they just signed BJ Reed. Kirby Joseph as well. Chicago Bears, that's where I start to go, because, Tyreek Stevenson, not sure who else they got back there, but I'm going to question them with the Steelers. Philadelphia Eagles 8, the exciting Whites, Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell. I'm not going to argue that. LA Chargers, they got Derwin James, but are we really going to put too many other guys in their position groups over the Steelers guys? And then number 10 here, the Indianapolis Colts, which I'm totally 100% blanking on who's all in their secondary. I believe, don't they have Cam Bynum, the safety from the Vikings? So don't know who else is back there right now. It's slipping my mind. But Kansas City Chiefs, Chicago Bears, Indianapolis Colts, LA Chargers as well. All those teams in the top 10 for secondaries in the NFL, according to PFF. I want to make an argument for the Steelers over those 3 or 4 teams. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of the comments section, real quick, Flacco got out of work late, but glad to see you, Flacco, as always. Just brushing through the live stream here this evening. One last thing here on the Steelers today. Tickets, I guess they are technically not on sale, but they are available now, free tickets to St. Vincent College in Latrobe for training camp. Fans can participate in activities, watch practice, and meet players. I believe that starts here coming up on the 24th, if I'm correct, is when training camp will begin, or at least that is the day when players will report. So go get your tickets now. I bet they go fast if they're not already gone as I'm speaking right now. Moving over into the hockey world for a couple minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. Just 2 things, both loosely relating to the Penguins. Will Horkoff, Penguins prospect, who was drafted with their 3rd first-round pick in this year's draft. He, along with 41 other players, have been invited to the 2025 World Junior Summer Showcase for Team USA. So he will go to this showcase. I guess it'll be sort of like a tryout to make Team USA's junior team for the World Junior tournaments and such. So good luck to Will Horkoff there. Also, Max Swanson, another forward in the Penguins development system. He was also invited to this camp, along with the Montreal Canadiens prospect LJ Mooney, who got drafted this year. He is from West Mifflin, grew up playing in the Penguins Little Penguins program. So good luck to those 3 on trying to make Team USA for the World Juniors. Speaking of juniors and prospects, a trade happened in the NHL last night. The Tampa Bay Lightning traded forward Isaac Howard, prospect forward that is, to the Edmonton Oilers for another prospect, Sam O'Reilly. The reason why I'm bringing this up, Isaac Howard, Hobie Baker award winner at Michigan State, thought he would have been a guy that the Penguins would be highly interested in, possibly another Rucker McGroarty-like investment, a kid who, playing in college, didn't really care too much about signing with the team that drafted him. Penguins could have maybe picked him up for a buy low, sort of scenario. Sam O'Reilly, who went back to Tampa in the deal from Edmonton, never heard of him as a prospect. So if the Penguins could have parted with, I don't know, maybe like I just said, like a Max Swanson, one of your, middle tier prospects, gotten back Isaac Howard, I wouldn't have been upset about it, but instead, the Edmonton Oilers will get him instead. Also, Michigan State. I can't remember if it's Michigan or Michigan State. I believe the Pens have another prospect, Chase Piatila, who is played college hockey with Isaac Howard. 2 other things, final 2 things here for today's stream, ladies and gentlemen, related to the Pittsburgh Pirates. We talked earlier about Paul Skenes. He will play in the All-Star game. Also, O'Neal Cruz will take part in the Home Run Derby. Possibly advantage for Skenes and other pitchers in the All-Star game coming up on Tuesday night. The ABS system, the ABS challenge system, let me call it by its rightful name here, will be in effect for the All-Star game on Tuesday night. For those of you who don't know what the ABS challenge system is, that is the automated balls and strikes challenge system. So pitchers at the All-Star game, pitchers and batters alike, and catchers as well, they will be able, with the simple tap of their head, be able to challenge whether or not a pitch was a ball or a strike. Then the umpire will call time. They'll pop it up on the scoreboard there in the stadium. They will in real time pop up the location of the pitch and to see whether it was in the strike zone or not. This will be used Tuesday night. This is kind of I won't say a test run because it will, I think, guaranteed be implemented into regular season MLB games starting next year. But this will be a glimpse into the future for what baseball can and will be. And by God, do they need it. Especially Paul Skenes here. He already paints pitches perfectly on the black of the strike zone enough already. Him challenging these pitches will, show just how great he is. So excited to see the ABS in effect on Tuesday night. They need it. And last thing here, minor roster transaction for the Pirates today. Right-handed relief pitcher Tanner Rainey, who was up with the big league squad for a good bit earlier this season. He was DFA'd a couple weeks ago. Then he signed a minor league contract, I believe, with the AAA team, Indianapolis Indians. He has now been released. So he has gone off the team looking to continue his big league career elsewhere. Other than that, going to take one last stroll here through Twitter, see if any other pieces of news are going on right now. I will say this. I did not see any posts of it on social media today, but apparently down on some Miami radio station, a member of the Rooney family, who is a nephew of the Chief, Art Rooney, was on one of the Miami sports talk radio stations. Or I don't even think it was that. I think it was like a sports betting radio station. Completely slammed the Steelers for like a good 5 minutes, saying that they'd be moronic or something along those lines to pay TJ Watt. They aren't going to win anything with his quote words here, a 50-year-old quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. Just really hammering the organization and the practices that they have done of his uncle. And I'm going to say that I do not think anything of what he just said, saying that the Steelers shouldn't pay TJ and that they aren't going to win anything. That is, I think, no correlation. That has no correlation, no connection to the current Rooney running the team, Art. I think from the sounds of it, this dude was just, I have no connections whatsoever to the team. I'm not in the inner circle of how the team is run. I'm not an employee of the team, nothing like that. I just so happen to have the last name of the family that owns the greatest franchise in the NFL. So I'm going to talk bad on them, for a couple minutes just because I have a name. And because I have the name, you're going to put me on this, radio station. So if you happen to run into what he said, hear what he said, just take it. This is just some random dude who just so happens to be the relative, I guess, some sort of distant family member of the Rooneys who has nothing to do with the Steelers at all. They're just spitballing because they have the name. Looking here, seeing if there is anything else. Seeing a ton of more O'Neal Cruz highlights before he heads to the home run derby here on Monday night. This isn't related to any of the three Pittsburgh sports teams that I cover here on the channel, but I will bring it up because it is Pittsburgh related. Two things, actually. One, apparently the NBA is looking into expanding, and I think I heard that Pittsburgh is in the top 10 of potential cities where a NBA team could expand to. I'm not, I'm kind of impartial on the NBA. Well, it's not, because, we cover the Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. It's not, my number one sport of choice to watch. But I will say this, impartial to NBA, I don't see how a team's going to come here to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the biggest small town in the world, and they are, I think, at times head over, little over their head, having three sports teams in the city. They do a good job of it, but I just don't think that they're going to have the money or the space or the really interest really from hardcore sports fans, here in town to have a team come here and survive. So, did hear that Pittsburgh is being mentioned as a possible expansion city for the NBA. Also, another thing here, getting into the college ranks, the University of Pittsburgh. I wonder if it was ESPN. I can't remember exactly who came out with this top 25. Anyway, the top 25 rivalries in college football were ranked recently. The backyard brawl, Pitt in West Virginia, didn't even make the top 25. That is crazy. Insane. Go look up any highlights from the backyard brawl, good or bad for my Pitt Panthers, and you will see that that is not only a top 25 rivalry in college football, that's probably in the top 15, pushing top 10. And I heard a couple other rivalries that are on that list, and they weren't even rivalries. They were just bigger name schools that just so happened to, play each other on a whim once every couple of years. But I don't get why that wasn't in the top 25. It should be. Everyone listening to this or will listen to this, I hope, will agree with me. The backyard brawl getting slept on very heavily. I know I'm going to be excited. I have been more and more getting into watching college football in recent years. This year, I'm going to be a diehard pretty much every Saturday, as consume as much college football as I can, but you better believe I might even be on stream for it. I don't know. You will see me here on the edge of my seat, living and dying with the backyard brawl game going to be played this year. Maybe even more than you see me with some Steeler games. So crazy that did not make the top 25 of college rivalries. Looking here, seeing if there are any other new news items before we log off here for the evening. Not seeing too much, but we did cover a good bit here in a short amount of time. One more thing here in the comments, Flock. I hope he wins O'Neal Cruz, in home run derby. I definitely hope so as well. I mean, just looking at the field right now, he has to be one of the odds-on favorites. Again, I covered this yesterday when he was announced. Like in the 99th percentile or higher in exit velocity, swing speed, barrel percentage, pretty much every good quality, every good statistic and trait that you need into mashing baseballs. He has all of them in spades. And he's, like I said, got to be one of the odds-on favorite. I'm trying to think here off the top of my head who's been announced as participating. Really, of the current players in the field, I believe he makes 6. I think there's 8, so a couple more might need to be announced. Cruz, you got Ronald Acuna Jr. and the big dumper Cal Raleigh. Those are the two guys that I think would give him a run for his money the most right now. Other than that, listening or seeing the other participants in the Derby, like James Wood and Byron Buxton, those guys I don't really, relate them to, I'm going to go out in a home run derby and hit, 15, 20 home runs in a 3-minute period. O'Neal Cruz can do it. Other guys in this field, most of them cannot. So, hoping Cruz does have a good showing Monday night. But like I said, think we're going to call it there. Did have a good stream here tonight. Honestly, it was quick and it was easy. I think I was on stream for an hour and a half the previous 2 nights. So tonight was going to be a bit of a quicker one. Pirates, they suck. They're about to get swept in back-to-back series after sweeping back-to-back series at home. And especially on today of all days, we are completely upset, furious, and depressed at the current state of this team because 2 years ago today, our savior was drafted, Paul Skenes, or at least he was supposed to be our savior. Not because anything he has done or hasn't done, but because this owner and this general manager, they have no true interest or motives to put this team back into contention. And that sucks. So, other than that, talked about it. Steelers, alternate uniforms, going to be coming soon here on the 21st. Myles Garrett is still somehow being put over TJ Watt. Even with TJ's slow end to the season last year, Garrett hasn't been able to touch TJ's stats. And, yeah, we'll have more to talk about tomorrow, hopefully. So, for the final time tonight, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it very, very much. Doing a quick subscriber check. We are at 464 subscribers. So for the final time, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, hit that like button, share this live stream on any social media platforms that you want. Will help grow the channel that way. And comment in the chat afterwards. Leave any thoughts, opinions, questions that you have about today's live stream in there. So, one last time, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Let's go watch the Pirates. They're going to be starting that game here in under an hour now. Let's go watch them fall apart one more time and continue to go winless on this road trip. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a good rest of your Wednesday night, hopefully better than what the Pirates will do. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow, same time, with some more Pittsburgh sports news. Peace.